haven't talked about it except in fits and starts because I don't know all of the details. It feels very much like, kind of, she's being set up because of the power position. Because this is the one case that could send Trump to jail, right?
Yes.
This is that case. So
Yes.
I'm like, I'm skeptical, but I'm thinking Marilyn Mosby. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, like.
I think, well, let's talk about it. I think that two things can be true at the same time. I think that you can make missteps and poor decisions. And I also think that people can use those things as ammunition against you when they're looking for a target or they want to make you a target. I think that it's very important to understand that while Marilyn's situation may be what it was in terms of her making some unfortunate choices, and both she and her husband, Nick Mosby, finding themselves in a very, very, very undesirable position, be very clear that a lot of the targeting of what Marilyn Mosby was facing came from the police union because they did not like how she handled Freddie Gray. And that's something people need to understand. It doesn't mean that what was substantively there was untrue, but it does mean that people do all kinds of stuff all the time. And depending on who your friends are or are not, that can oftentimes dictate whether there's a big deal made of things. I think Fani Willis is the same example in the sense that, and she hasn't done or been accused of doing anything criminal. But I think that two things can be true. I think that she can have made a poor choice potentially around how she has moved ethically. And that can have nothing to do with the guilt or innocence of Donald Trump or her ability to fairly try Donald Trump and 18 other co-conspirators under a RICO statute. They can be true at the same time. And the fact that there may be elements of sexism and white nationalism that are fueling the attention that this is getting does not invalidate or erase the fact that Fani Willis may in fact have made some poor choices. Two things can be true. And I think that we can say, all right, this is inappropriate and hold her accountable does not mean that we have to sort of align ourselves with sexism, misogyny, and white nationalism in such a way that we just let them run roughshod with their accusations. Ultimately, I expect that she's going to stay on the case. I expect that it's going to move forward. This is an attempt to sully the jury, but it's Georgia. Even though it's Fulton County, it's still Georgia. Mm-hmm. And to the point about the Murdaugh conversation, Karen, all you need is one. All you need is one holdout. And I think that for people who are looking at any of these Trump cases, that's the thing you have to remember. On a jury, it only takes one holdout for a mistrial. And so I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to sully the jury pool as much as they can by casting aspersions on both Fani Willis, but also her overall office, and hope that they can influence one potential juror who gets in that box and says, oh, I don't know, I'm not ready, I don't think I can convict. And then for them, that's a victory.
I'm like, did you have to hire him? No. The ex-wife is now in it. It's all kind of messy.
It's messy.
I'm like, come on. This was a home run. Now sis is all clouded because of choices that people made that they didn't have to make. And they people. They grown, no.
I get it.
Too much riding on this.
I get it. But you know what, though? This is the thing. Like, people want to be like, yo, Fani, how could you? That was such a dumb thing to do, so on and so forth. I understand what people are saying. But this story is not a new story. Nepotism and hooking up your peoples is not a new story.
Yes,
like,
but Charles,
I'm not saying that it's okay.
Like, I'm sure your daddy told, we can't do what they do.
I get it.
Yeah, so you know it. You already know.
I get it.
Can't do. And this is how we get trapped, because it's like, well, they did it. Well, of course, this is how it's done. So you get away with it for so long because no one's paying attention until they are.
Right.
And now you got to go. It's like, come on. 866-801-8255. We basically got to walk on water up in here.